When everybody hates it, we think it's okay. When everybody likes it, we gotta complain. We're quite contrary.
Batman? Batman, you say? Coming for you? I'm counting on it. Warning. The following is intended for mature audiences. It includes references to the use of illicit substances as well as crude humor. Viewer discretion is advised. Ya mook. Thank you, and welcome to Quite Contrary, the only show that's mathematically designed to disagree with you. I'm Zach Nanimus.
Johnny Dim.
And you pointed, you good feather.
Was it on time? I don't know.
I don't remember.
Okay.
But today, you're all... I know I'm going to be cutting exactly when you're sipping on soda every time. Now, last week, from when we're filming this, I don't know when you're going to see it, that's hardly relevant. I don't know why I'm still talking about it. Injustice came out. Not just Injustice, but Injustice 2. And people have really been enjoying it. I mean, it was a good game. This is a lot more of the same, in my opinion.
I don't believe you.
What do you mean?
That people are enjoying it?
People are enjoying it.
I doubt it.
No, they get about an 88% overall.
NetherRealm's just trash. They put out so much trash.
You just hate Mortal Kombat because you're bad at it.
That's not true.
Injustice 2 is pretty fun. It's one of my favorite fighting game series. But here's what sucks about it.
Number 1. Pick a fucking Joker. This game takes place exclusively in the world where Superman is evil. And a very important part of that scenario is that Joker is super dead. And yet, because of the character's popularity and notoriety, he returns in this game as a figment of Harley's imagination after being dosed with fear gas. Smart move, interesting idea, but it all falls flat when they reveal the game's Joker, a Joker for the new millennial. I mean, of all the pandering, corporate, redesigning, pretty boy schlock I've seen in my time, this takes the taco. I know that they were trying to draw parallels to the Jared Leto interpretation of the Joker, but we should point out that there was some resistance to that Joker too.
If NetherRealms were smart, they would have completely redesigned the Joker into a big, monstrous nightmare fueled by Harley's own imagination.
Better yet, speaking of Harley's imagination, they could have gone off the deep end and done something really creative and kind of did an interpretation of what she thinks of him.
Like more of an ideal sort of Joker.
Exactly, yeah. He could have been more of a monstrous nightmare. He could have been like, I don't know, maybe super cute.
What if he was like in the original Red Hood tux?
And then for whatever reason, like during the battle, the hood breaks, right? And he's just dashing.
No, he's just Luke Skywalker. You can only see half of it. The other thing is that they could have taken the easy route and just paid homage to a design of the Joker that made him one of the most beloved villains in the DC universe. Nope.
Nope.
There we go.
Yeah, I like that.
Number 2.
Huh?
Superman's chin strap. Now, something that's become sort of a staple of the comic book superhero genre is this concept of the final suit. When the hero is headed into their final battle, they take a moment to put forward their last measure of devotion and unveil their final suit. The one with all the gadgets and firepower and armor that could have potentially solved the problem in the first act. But then there wouldn't be a story. Superman is a character that is often immune to this, being that no amount of extra equipment is gonna make him any more super. But Injustice 2 proves us all wrong. Now we know that Superman's final form is Chinstrap Superman! It kinda comes out of left field here. Superman has been in prison for years now, and in order to defeat Brainiac, he is set free, and somehow a brand new suit is waiting for him. And for an even more mind-boggling reason, it has an awkward chin strap bit that is more confusing to his aesthetic than anything. I think it looks dumb, but you know, I don't know. I could be wrong. Why don't we try it out, see what's up?
Yeah, sure.
You know what? I think he's onto something. I do feel more powerful, maybe like more confident.
Yeah, me too.
Johnny? Where's yours?
I'm wearing it.
You think you're wearing a chin strap right now?
Oh, chin strap. I did not hear chin.
Go change. Take that off.
Number 3. Stop shooting Robin. This story gives us a glimpse inside the lives of Batman and Robin, pre-Superman is a dictator and kills Justice League members world.
That would be the worst theme park ever.
Robin here, being played by that son of a Bruce, Damian Wayne, this glimpse comes in the form of a flashback from before Superman's regime, and as fans can tell you, before the invention of the LexCorp super pill that justified having a fighting game where the likes of Batman could fight Superman without being atomized by a single punch. And yes, he is that strong in this story. Read the comics. He killed like all of Darkseid's army in like less than a second. No joke. So in this flashback, we see the event that led to Damian quitting the Bat family. And of course, it ends in a fight. You can feel the pinned up anger in Damian and the disappointment in Bruce. But here's the thing. Batman can still use his super move, which means that if a player wants to, they could skyhook an unpowered Robin 5,000 feet into the air, drop him with no parachute, and fire bullets and missiles the whole way down, and depending on when you did it, it might not even knock him out. Were those anti-air beanbags coming out of the cannons rubber missiles? Was he falling through a non-lethal bat gravity? This might seem like a minor gripe, but this series was built around a device that allowed characters to survive the powers of one another so that the fighting made sense rather than just being a non-canon fantasy matchup game.
Well, because the Flash aligned with Superman early on in the regime, it is possible that Barry Allen during this fight, if Robin was to suffer a mortal wound, could have swept in at the speed of light, grabbed him, taken him to Switzerland, and put him into the Lazarus pits, and then brought him back with only minor scrapes and bruises. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about time dilation? Well, because the Flash can actually break the space-time barrier, it's possible for him to travel...
Zach, stop. This... right here, this is why you're going to die alone.
But before we get to number 4, it's time for Johnny's world famous promotions. Johnny!
Oh, that's me! Hey, Zach.
Yes, Johnny?
Have you ever adopted an animal?
I have.
And how did that make you feel?
Great. It made me feel super fantastic.
Right. And let that be a lesson to you. Adopt animals and feel great. Especially from the Acadiana Humane Society. It's a great place to adopt pets.
Also, do you feel the cold grip of death slowly approaching on the horizon?
I do, every night.
Well, if you want to feel better about yourself and maybe elongate your life, then maybe you should get a little bit more exercise with Camp Gladiator. Camp Gladiator is a great way to stay in shape, and lots of people agree that exercise leads to a healthy and fun life. We have friends in the Houston area who do Camp Gladiator, but it is a nationwide service, so go to campgladiator.com and see if there's a camp near you today! And now, number 4. Wear the rings. Now, one thing that got me really excited about this game was the promotional art that came out before the game. Now, I'm not one to get swept up in, hype trains, pre-rendered cutscenes and stuff like that. I like to focus on footage of the game before I get excited about one. But there was something in the promo art from this game that made it seem like the story was going to play out in kind of a specific way. In fact, you know what? Let's put it up. Do you see it? See anything that might make you think that a certain story element might be prominently featured? Maybe the fact that Superman, a known despot, is in yellow, or Supergirl, a symbol of hope, is glittering with blue light, or Batman, the one who is known to never give up, in shining green. Huh? Could it be a freaking ring war? When I saw this, I was so excited that we were going to see all of our favorite characters, well, not all of our favorite characters, but the crew of Injustice wielding power rings. Like, how cool would it be to see Batman summoning flocks of winged mammals to torment his foes, Harley chomping her opponents with giant chattering teeth, Bane actually being useful for once. But if you have the game, you already know that no such content exists. It's a pretty by-the-numbers sequel in terms of story. I'm not saying that I'm entitled to the story that I want. I'm just saying that the material provided before launch, intentionally or otherwise, hinted at something that they were never going to deliver.
So basically, you're just upset by the lack of rings?
Yes.
You want a ring?
Yes, I want a ring.
Okay. All right.
Johnny?
What?
What are you doing?
Zach, would you make me the happiest man?
No. And that's our show, everybody. We've been doing shorter sequences lately because we have been trying to interject our real thoughts on the matter. I really enjoyed this game. It's kind of the same way I felt about Guardians of the Galaxy. There was stuff that I didn't like, but it's easy to ignore. You could chop this game down into something a little bit more balanced, a little bit more focused, but overall, honestly, I'd recommend it because I love NetherRealm story-driven fighting games.
I do enjoy this game. I only played it for a short time, but my limited exposure, I had a great time. There were a little bit things that didn't feel quite natural. We had talked about this, about some characters not feeling like those characters, but they did some of them perfectly. Some of them feel great.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that about sums it up. Before we let you go, I want to remind everybody that if you like the content, go ahead and subscribe to our channel so that you'll be alerted for future videos. Don't forget to leave something down in the comments, especially a suggestion for a new video, because we would love to do more fan-requested videos. Also, if you're feeling really frisky and want to help us out, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/warlocks. It really does help, and every dollar that you donate to us goes back into making the show the absolutely best it can be. And with that, I would like to end the proceedings by eating gummy snacks in silence, once again provided by our good buddy Jeff.